it's a great basketball game, I think, by both teams. Type game that you really hate to see anybody lose. I thought both teams really put their hearts out in the line, uh, for basically 50 minutes, and that's difficult. And I think we both were running out of players due to foul trouble and guys fouling out, and guys just kept subbing in and contributing and helping. It just was a hard-fought game by both teams. They have a really good team. I think Penny does a great job with his group. I've been watching them, of course, and scouting them in preparation. They have a really good team. This league, I think, is very underrated with the teams and the quality of players and coaches they have. And I think tonight exemplified that.
They got off to such a hot start at the beginning of the second half, eventually had that 14-point lead. What was the key in that time frame? What were you telling you guys to kind of, calm down? There's still plenty of time left. Obviously, you guys came back and tied it and forced overtime.
Well, I thought to start the second half, they started the second half off great. And, of course, we didn't start off as well. And I give them credit for that. I thought defensively they did a good job. They turned it into offense, and they built a quick lead. Our guys have been in this situation, as you know, before. This is what our fifth overtime, a double overtime game. So we've been in this situation where we've been down in the second half and had to make runs. So I was just telling our guys, we've been here before. Let's just keep our composure. Let's keep playing possession by possession, and let's try to work our way back into the ball game. Let's not try to make it all up in one or two possessions. And I thought our guys did a good job of that. I didn't see any panic. I didn't think we rushed a whole lot, and we kind of just worked our way back. And we were able to come our way back, culminating with a really good shot with Ithiel. We had a great shot as we moved the basketball around. He ended up having a good look for a three and knocked it down.
You talked about all season having a deep bench, and then tonight a guy like P.J. Edwards comes up for you a bit.
No, absolutely. We've talked about that, and it showed. And we believe in our guys on the bench, and we just can't play everybody, as you know, in the game. You just can't play everybody that you have on your team. Guys are earning those roles. And so he was just outside of the rotation, and that's just how it is. But he was always ready. I commented on him, in the locker room after the game about his preparation. He was very professional about it. He did all the things we told him to do. Be ready. You never know when your number's going to be called, and it'd be a shame if you're not prepared for it. And he stayed ready. Coming to practice early, staying late, doing all the workout stuff that we talked to him about doing. He embraced all of those things, and therefore he's continuing to get better, even though he was not getting into the rotation. And now his opportunity comes, and not only that, what a moment. I mean, he's in a game against, to me, a top 25 caliber team, and he steps up and plays as if he had been playing for us all season long.
Coach, we've talked about composure over the course of the season. Can you talk about the composure tonight with the refs, making some questionable calls that could have gone either way? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, the refs have it hard. First and foremost, I'm never going to look at the refs in any situation. I know it's difficult. And this was a tough game to ref with these two teams. You have some dynamic players out there. I mean, Kendrick's one of the best guards in the country. I think everyone knows that. And he's just a hard guy to check. We threw a lot of different things at him. And his credit, man, he just kept moving into different areas and making successful plays. And then we have some good guards. I think you saw, how good our guards are now. We've had multiple guards get 30 points. Ithiel got 30 tonight. C.J. Kelly a few nights ago had 30. So we have some guards that are pretty good too. And so I think when you ref in that caliber of player, it can become somewhat difficult. So I think, just to, cut them a break there. But other than that, I thought it was I thought two teams just throwing haymakers, just haymaker after haymaker, trying to knock each other out. And fortunately, we had the last one in and was able to pull away with the win.
You were without Michael Durr tonight. What happened with him, and how much did you miss him defensively?
Definitely miss Mike. I mean, miss Mike's physicality, his rebounding, his experience, at the position. Those are all things that we missed, and he, he's out. He fractured. He has a fracture in his hand, so he's going to be out, for a while now. I want to say, I think he goes in for surgery tomorrow. So he's going to be out. But, we talked about our guys, again, who's going to step up, who's going to, be the next guy to kind of help contribute. And I thought Silic had it. He was a little anxious with some of his time at the position and learned the position a little more because he's played more of the 4 than the 5. But I think he's a guy that's going to have to continue to come along now because, he's going to have a chance to play more extended minutes for us as the season progresses until Mike is cleared to come back.
Would his timeline allow him to come back later in the season?
Yes, it would. His timeline would allow him to come back later in the season. I don't know exactly the date, but so we'll see. But I don't anticipate him being out the entire season.
Coach, you guys got tied the single game program or single game 3-pointer record. How big was 3-point shooting for you guys today?
It was, I think for us that probably was a big part of it because both teams shot a lot of free throws. I think we just, we made more threes, of course, by making 16 threes. That's huge. We didn't shoot a great percentage from the field overall, but we shot a great percentage from behind the 3-point arc, and I think that was a difference for us.
Obviously, Darius coming in, and Jalen, I know he took a shot. I know he wasn't 100%, and then he fouls out, and then playing that both overtimes, really with no true point guards. How do you think your team? I know there was, a miscue here or there, but how did you think your team handled that?
I think we handled it fine. I thought our guys, we brought C.J. Kelly in as a combo guard, so we knew he could play on the ball for us. Just in case you have that third point guard potentially. If one of the guys go down, then you have another backup potential guard at that position. So we had him already pegged in recruiting that he would be able to do that for us. And I thought he did a good job. He had 7 assists and 3 turns. I mean, that's pretty good against their pressure and what they do. So, in recruiting, I think our staff, we have a great assistants. I thought he did a great job of identifying him as a person that could come in and help in that area.
What have you learned about your team tonight, and what can this win do for you moving forward?
Well, I've been learning this about our team, all year long. We've been down in a number of games, and we've always found a way to fight back in and make it competitive. And that's what we did again tonight. Our guys, there's no quit in our guys, basically. They're a gritty team. They play with a lot of heart, and that's what I love about them, the fact that there's no quit. Because you're not gonna be up in every game, and teams are gonna make runs and have momentum. And our guys, we have composure in those situations. I think I've used that word a lot this season. We've played with a lot of composure, and that's something that I've seen in this group. They don't seem to panic. When we call timeout, we're discussing what's going on in those situations. I can look in their eyes. I can see the belief that we still believe we can win. And that's a great character trait to have.
What did you think of the atmosphere and the energy? Obviously, you were pumping up the crowd during and after the game. They really came out tonight.
You know what, they really did. I mean, we had a great crowd, and I've always said, and you guys have been with me a long time now, and when we have a crowd like that, I very rarely do our guys disappoint. They always find a way, it seems like, to make it a game like they did tonight. And so I thought the crowd was great. Love to see everyone come out all the time because it's a fun group to watch, and as we're building what we want to build here, it's not going to happen unless we have to realize we are one. We're one family. Our community and us, we're all one. And if everyone comes out like our student section and our community, the way they did tonight, we'll have a great home court advantage. And I thought we had an advantage tonight just with our home court. And the crowd was so electric and so loud. I mean, that's intimidating. And I thought it affected Memphis, to be quite frank.
What does it say about your team's resiliency to do this in double overtime without 2 starters and to pull it off? What does it say about your team's character?
It's a high character group. They believe. Everyone believes in themselves, and we believe in each one of our players. That's why for us, when a PJ steps into the game, we're not looking over there like, oh wow, we putting PJ in the game. We're like, okay, fine. I mean, we've seen how he's practiced and how he's working. He just wasn't in the rotation, but we know he's a good player, and I think he showed that tonight. So our belief in our guys and their belief in themselves, I think, plays a big factor in why I think their character is so good, and they like, they like playing with they like playing with each other. They're a good group. Like a lot of times you coaching guys, you're talking about egos and everything. They're a very humble group, and that's something that I've noticed about them. And I've coached a lot of teams and played on a lot of great teams, and probably the most humble group of guys that I've had a chance to coach.
You'll see Memphis again, but your team threw the first punch tonight.
No, absolutely, and that's for me it was more about making sure we're protecting our home court. We're at home. We're at home. So at home, we have to have pride in defending our home court. It has to mean something. And I thought our guys showed it meant something today by how they kept fighting, undermanned at times as well as, down the second half. They kept fighting until we had a chance to win the game.
What does the team need to do to build off a win like this?
To build off of, we have to remember the things we did well in this game going forward. We have to put it in perspective. It's one game, and we have to be able to move on to the next play. It's great to get this win, and we should enjoy it tonight. But come tomorrow morning, we have to move on because we have a quick turnaround and we hit the road again. So we have got to understand that, it was great, but we have to stay in the moment. And this game now is in the past for us. Let's take the lessons we've learned, how hard we got to play, how we need to execute offensively and defensively, and then, take those lessons, keep trying to get better as the season progresses.
Coach,
Doesn't get
I
any
believe
easier,
that.
right? You're on the road to Tulane beat Memphis. So
Exactly.
Tulane's 8-1 at home. too.
Exactly. They're a really good basketball team as well. They have a lot of talent, a lot of guys that can score the basketball, and of course it's going to be another tough test for us. But we'll start studying. I'll start studying them tonight. Actually, after I leave you, I'll start watching Tulane.
Coach, I believe after the last game, I believe it was IT that said that this game would be defined your team's place in the American Conference. How would you feel your team did that tonight?
Well, it's still early in conference play, but I think what we're doing is we just want to keep building some momentum. We want to keep playing well as we move through the season. We look at it as a one game. It's a one game, competition tonight. We looked at it as that. We mark it, and we move forward to the next game. Always trying to get better. I want my team to always, as we look through the season, that we're improving, game by game as we go through. I thought tonight was another example of us getting better. I thought the game before this we were getting better. We had the setback with the injuries, and so now we have to kind of reset our rotations and stuff. But, I think we're improving, and we should be improving. We got a good group. And I think our best basketball is still ahead of us. I mean, we got young guys like Taylor and freshmen. Silla's a freshman. These guys are playing in these moments in these games. I mean, they're still growing. These moments are important for their growth. And as they get more comfortable, they're going to make us better as a team.
Coach, defending the paint today was a bit of a problem. Is there anything going forward that you want to do differently to make sure you defend the paint?
Well, we have to get better. I mean, at first they have terrific, dynamic players. You're talking about Kendrick, you're talking about, Williams. I mean, these guys are terrific players, in the country. They're some of the best players in the country. And so it's a challenge to try to slow them down. We have to continue to figure out, what we could do better when we watch tape and look at it, see what could we have done a little more different to kind of maybe help us in that situation. But, the bottom line is, sometimes when you got players like a Davis especially, who's a scorer like he is, I mean, he gets going on his night. I mean, it becomes really tough unless you double team and triple team them, and they're too good a team where you can double and triple team them because they have other good players out there. So you kind of have to pick your poison with that.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, guys.
Get to work.
Thank you.
Get to
Yeah,
work.
right back to work, right?